Hakuna kitu kinachoboa kwenye nyumba kama umejenga nyumba yako afu baada ya muda unaona rangi inaanza kubanduka au ile plasta ambayo umeipiga na yenyewe inabanduka. Hii inatokana na nini? Hii inatokana na kitu kinaitwa dampness. Hii ni moja ya ugonjwa mkubwa sana kwenye nyumba nyingi hapa mjini. Ni kwa sababu maji yanatoka ardhini yanapanda kwenye ukuta au kwenye maeneo ambayo ya maji, kwa mfano jikoni, vyooni, ukuta maji yanafyonza kwenye ukuta yanakuja mpaka upande wa pili. Na ito Andrew Kimchami, na leo nataka nikuelekeze jinsi gani unaweza ukatibu hili tatizo kwenye nyumba yako. Karibu hapa Builders Home. Unapozungumzia dampness ni kitu kama hiki hapa. Huu ni ukuta ambao umekuwa affected na maji ambayo yanatoka upande wa nyuma kuja huku mbele. Kwa hivyo basi ile rangi ambayo imeshapakwa inafyonza maji. Sasa hapa kuna issues mbili. Kuna moja, maji yanatoka chini yanapanda juu, na nyingine maji yanatoka nje yanakuja upande huu wa ukuta. Kwa rangi inabanduka, lakini pia maji yanavyokuwa yanapanda juu yanapanda na chumvi. Hizi chumvi sio rafiki kwenye rangi. Ndio maana unakuta rangi inabanduka na saa nyingine inaendelea mpaka plasta inabanduka pia. Ukiangalia kwa makini utaona huku juu kuna rangi tofauti na hapa chini kuna rangi ambayo kama imeiva. Hii ni level ambayo maji yametoka hapa chini mpaka kufikia hapa sasa hivi. Kadri siku zinazozidi kuendelea, hii maji yanaweza yakapanda mpaka juu kabisa. Sasa ni namna gani unaweza ukaitreat? Tuko na mtaalamu ambaye yeye kuna dawa ambayo atatuelekeza jinsi ya kuichanganya, uchanganyaji wake, lakini pia jinsi gani tunaweza tukaandaa mazingira yetu tayari kwa ajili ya kupokea hiyo dawa, na tutaona baada ya kuwa tumeshapaka hiyo dawa ni nini kinatokea kwenye jengo letu. Asante, karibu sana, tukutane na mtaalamu.
My name is Anand and I have been in this country for about 17 years doing all kinds of things from paint, cement, steel, construction chemicals. I was the country sales manager for BSF Construction Chemicals here in Tanzania when they started. We are here to show engineers and construction companies how you can build sustainable structures at the best price available in the country. One thing that you all must have when you do these things, dealing with chemicals, always wear mask. I am not doing that. Please cut out, and we should have an estimate of, it will rotate. It will rotate very fast. Let me show you. It will move. Hold on. Somebody hold this like this for me, please. You got a good mix. For the first coat, wonderful mix with the brush. You see? Now you see, please come this side. Then you can see why the drill mix has to be used consistently. There is some powder still which is not mixed properly. You see?
Yes.
Okay. So what we need to do is to see how we can bring this wall to its as close original state and make it sustainable for years to come. Okay? What was the rule number 1? Our rule number 1 was? Yes. We all understand that this should have been done. If you have the budget, you can still do it. You need to dig it all around. Okay? Do a waterproofing protection. If the water table is very high, then you need to have a drainage all around the boundary. You put rocks and all, there's a method of doing it so that excess water doesn't go on the wall, it finds a way out and it gets drained out. Okay, this is the method actually to do it. But clients apply a lot of pressure. Oh, I don't have this budget. Why do you need this? Why do you need that? Get my structure up. I will manage it. Okay, so these kind of questions people say. But Here we cannot correct the source because we do not have at the moment to dig out inside, but that's the method. Okay. Next thing is this thing that I'm doing. Your grinding machine would be able to do it much quicker and much better. Now you see, when we have removed, we have been able to understand the extent of damage. Okay. Right now the paint was covering, so you could not see the depth of Now I will take help from my civil engineer friend and ask him a couple of questions so that all of us understand, right? This is more than 2 millimeter gap, okay?
Yes.
We need to first repair this, okay?
Yes.
And repairing can be done using repair mortars. We have that product called Mape Grout T60. Okay, it's a cementitious, ready to use, mixed with water, and you can straight away do on this and do a complete patch. Once this is covered and done is when we do anything on this. The reason being, if you leave this pain in the kidney today, tomorrow the stomachache will get cured, but he will die of kidney problem. So this will lead to the problem reoccurring. So in the preparation, once we have cleaned and seen what is wrong with how a structure looks, all the repairs need to be done. These cracks, blowholes, all of them need to be repaired first. Once you've repaired them, leave it overnight, let it dry, okay, and then you start working on this again. But do you see? I was talking about quality of workmanship. Gentleman must have picked up fully that he knew, did job. Yeah, no problem, I will do it. When he was paid to do a quality job, he came and straight away put a coating on top of it without bothering to do what I'm doing now. Right? Yes. Okay. So that aggravated the whole problem. Now we can see water stains are only up to here, but we generally take it about a meter higher, yes, so that you don't know how much of water has gone inside here, right? Because we cannot see. And in future, if the water is trying to go through that route, it is already protected. Okay? But ideally, a wall like this in a current state, I would do the complete wall. But then again, depends on the client and its budget. But if we have to just protect with the patches, like those guys have done, let me show you. The water must have been here, okay, initially. So this gentleman decided to put his entire chemical only in the exact part where the water was. What I was telling you, what happens, sometimes the water has already gone from inside. You protect it here so the water doesn't get away here. So it starts taking away up. Right? Yes. The remaining water which was there, it starts taking away up. Because remember, we have not cured the cause in this, which we would have done if we had done the trenching. So, in a situation like this, if you have water till here, take it higher. Okay? So that you offer a complete solution on that. Coming back to our structure now. See? This is exactly what I mean by proper cleaning and proper thoroughly removing any loose material. This is a magic thing. It works on wood, it works on steel, it works on concrete. Okay? So, this is a very important tool. Your people who are going to do waterproofing, please give them these basic tools. So what is it doing? It's not only cleaning, it is providing the roughness. For any material to stick to the other surface, if it is plain, it will not stick properly. But if it has a rough edge,
it will stick. So on the surface of our concrete is now ready to receive the new coating that will come. If you look very closely, it's got small pores opened up here. That pores is what is going to receive the material. I just want you to do this part. No, first use this plate. I want it to look like this and this. Do the finishing of this. You have to apply a bit of pressure so that it takes out all the loose concrete. First you need to remove it. Use this to remove as much plaster as you can. Okay, what I suggest, we'll leave this repair part aside. I will bring a repair material and train you on that, how to do this repair. We will do only in this part, which is okay, and this one we will do it. First we will do how to do the repair. I don't have the repair material just now, okay. So what we will do only on the part which is okay, we will learn how to do it. So we will learn how to mix the material and then how to apply. Okay, we have a 25 kg which can cover a lot of area, about 15-20 square meters. But what we'll do, we'll use part of it because there has to be some gap that has to be given between one coat and the other. Minimum has to be about 4 hours. Okay, so we can't give that gap today. So what we will do, we'll do one coat. Okay, and then tomorrow probably you can finish it and send the pictures to everybody. Okay, what we do, the first coat we do it in the vertical direction. The second coat we will do in a horizontal direction. So what happens, the horizontal and vertical, they form a mesh. And structurally, you know, that kind of a structure is one of the strongest to sustain. When you do a costing for any proposal, all these things that you will require, accessories, you must put it in that. Don't pay anything from your pocket, the client will pay for it. Okay, but don't compromise on these things. Very good. What I like about the way he is doing, he's opening up the pores. You know, so when you're moving your wire brush in the direction, also remember that the whole idea is to open the thin pores. Concrete is all about pores, right? That's how concrete is formed. So if you can open up the pores, it accepts the material much better. Very good, my friend. Okay, so now you see, come closer. You will notice this has no open pores. Here, 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 the pores are open. Okay? Yes. So when you're trying to stick anything on this, the adhesion will be much better. If you take a microscopic picture of how a coating is done on top of a structure and you see how the penetration happens of the structure, this is how it will open up. Okay? So what we need to do is now, we need to get a bucket of water, dip the sponge in that and sponge it. Okay? Once we do it, so that we clean it actually, all the loose, this thing is gone. We don't wet it, we sponge it. Even when you're doing repair, the same thing. Same thing, it has to be done. It has to be cleaned properly, and then all the loose, see all the loose thing is coming out. Now you see why the sponge is important. It is a very small thing, but then the way it prepares the surface, you cannot have a replacement with anything else. Now how does the surface look to you? It looks like good and ready to go and receive the new material? Something that you've come down to the the place that you started from. You started your wall from here, correct?
Yes.
And then you did all the colors and everything. So now your wall is back to where it was. It is opened up. You can see the patient's kidney much better, right? Right now you were seeing through CCTV or whatever kind of camera that was you using, or X-rays or whatever. But right now you can see it right in front of you. So you can offer better treatment to it. That's the whole idea. Okay? We have to form a wire mesh, right? That's why horizontal and vertical. Yes. Very good. Press, bro, you have to use strength. Okay? So that kidogo strength, so that it sticks to the material. And it has to go inside those small, the surface is not absolutely even, right? So it has to go inside. Let me show you once, then you can proceed, okay? See, you got to press it. Please do this after you've had chakula. Okay?
Yes.
So it's becoming deeper because there's no blood.
Now look at the difference. I did up to here, it has covered it. So that's how you have, this part also has to be done. Okay? You press it and then do it. Finish it, bro. We all learn. I also learned this way. So please make as many mistakes as you can so that we can all correct it together. Press, 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 press. Stretch out. Only horizontal. Vertical we will do it with a brush. If you're talking about that corner. That is why even that brush is also important, so that you can do the edges and the corners. You cannot do it with a roller. Very good. Do you think it is easy to apply? I'll tell you, I'll explain to you. Depending on what you're doing. Okay? This is dampness, this is not wet water on the wall. So the coverage is higher. Okay, because the thickness is going to be less. 2 millimeter thickness is what is required. But when you're protecting against both positive and negative water, then you have to apply about 3 millimeter. So the consumption goes down. Always read technical data sheet. No matter who's saying what, you must always believe on what the technical data sheet. It's the Bible of that company. Yeah. So read through that. Read that part. I want to give it to somebody else to get a feel of it. Who wants to try? Press it. Yes. Because it is cement, no? So if you apply a little pressure, it will allow the thing to go in. See what we've done? We've made the surface rough.
Yeah.
Correct?
Yeah,
so
sure.
when we press
So
it,
it
will
yes.
penetrate into it. See, if you do the mix properly and you apply it in a good way, you don't need to do too much of work in preparing the wall to do the paint.
Am I doing this correctly?
Absolutely. You got to press it a bit hard so that it doesn't stick in one place. Okay, let me show you. Now, what you're doing is, this is not the girlfriend, baby. Okay? So you don't have to treat her like that. A pressure has to be applied so that there's no accumulation of material in one place and it also sticks. If you give it the initial pressure, it's got microfibers in it.
Okay.
So this is not a very ordinary waterproofing. This is not an ordinary dawa that you get. This is a waterproofing material which has got microfibers, which gives it strength. And longer the strength it will have, the more it will hold on to the surface and increases your service life. You get me?
Yeah, I get you. So, in context, what you're telling us is that after you apply this material,
the case of water coming off the wall and destroying the paint, you can't experience that again.
Absolutely not.
What about water from the exterior of the wall? What about the water coming from outside the surface?
Protect. It is going to protect, because whenever the concrete is going to be attacked, it will first have to face this. That's why it is protecting the concrete. That's why I'm applying it right on the concrete, not on the paint.
Not the paint. Yeah, sure.
You get me?
Yeah, exactly.
So I am treating the cancer right at the spot where it is and not around it. Correct? Why waste it since we have? Let's. So when you asked me about what about water coming from outside, if you remember, I told you the difference between damp protection and waterproofing, right? Because damp is only moist water, correct? Yes. And water is literally physical water. So in that case, the protection would be both damp protection plus waterproofing protection. But I'm glad you guys are asking these questions, because these are things which give you clarity into understanding and explaining to the client. The whole idea is to show the client how you're creating value for them, right? It's not just you're just doing this job. You need to explain to him so that he understands what he is paying for. And today's world is very, very transparent. You go to a Google and you get information about anything. So why hide from the client? So people who say that, oh, the finishing of the wall, will it be bad or good? Now you're seeing it for yourself. If you do a good workmanship, it will come out good. If you cut corners, it will not come out good. And this we are doing when we have not repaired the thing. If we would have repaired this and left it, it would have been a different thing altogether. I've tried to fill it up with this, but not the right method. A repair mortar should always be used. Yes, we have a material which is a two-component material, for which you don't need that. You can straight away do it, fills up gaps on its own. But it is an expensive material. But the minimum service life is 15 years.
Baada ya kuona alichokifanya mtaalamu wetu, amefanya vitu kadha wa kadha. Cha kwanza ameanza kwa kutuonesha namna gani tunaweza tukachanganya dawa yetu. Cha pili ametuonesha namna gani tunaweza tukaandaa mazingira ya ule ukuta ambao umeathirika. Lakini cha tatu ametuonesha upakaji wa ile rangi kwa ujumla. Sasa twende tukaangalia ile surface baada ya zoezi kwa limeshafanyika, ni nini kinaonekana na ukuta unakuaje baada ya hapo. Karibu. Huu ndio muonekano wetu baada ya kuwa kazi imeshakamilika. Huu ukuta ulikuwa una nyufa kama unavyoona huku juu. Tumechukua hii kama sample ili kuweza kuonesha ni kitu gani ambacho kinafanyika. Kwa baada ya kusafisha ile surface yetu, tumepaka ile dawa yetu mpaka kwenye hatua ambayo ilikuwa imeishia kuathirika. Hapa sasa hivi hakuna maji ambayo yanatoka kuja upande wa pili. Kwa kama kuna changamoto yoyote ya maji labda yalikuwa yanatoka kwenye ukuta kule nyuma kuja huku, sasa hivi hayawezi tena kupita. Kwa kinachobaki hapa sasa ni kuja kuskim na kuja kupaka rangi kumalizia kabisa. So kama unavyoona tumepaka upande wote ambao ulikuwa una madhara mpaka kufikia kule. Hii yote ni sehemu ambayo ilikuwa imeathiriwa na fungus kwa kiasi kikubwa sana. Maji yaliyotoka chini yamepanda juu and then yakawa yanakula hii rangi yetu. Ni matumaini yangu kwamba umejifunza vingi leo, lakini pia umejifunza namna gani unaweza ukatibu ukuta wako fungus isiwe chanzo cha wewe kuichukia nyumba yako. Naitwa Andrew Kimchami, usiache kusubscribe kwenye YouTube yetu, lakini pia kwenye social media zetu ya The Builders Home na LCH ambao wao ndio wamekuletea utibuji huu wa kuta ambazo zimeathiriwa na fungus. Katika kipindi kijacho tutakuletea sasa namna gani unaweza kutibu yale maji yanayotoka chini na kupanda juu kwenye ukuta. Asante, karibu sana, tukutane kipindi kijacho.